Hello everyone, and welcome back to my bookshelf. So today I'm going to go through all of the books that I've recently purchased. I don't really know why, but I feel like I should, just because it's such an enormous amount of books. And also I think I have a couple more that I did buy, but I don't remember if I already hauled them or not. So I'm trying to look, but I feel like I don't have all of my books with me. I think there's one in the car, and then also I gave one of my copies to my friend, so he has that. But yeah, these are the books that I recently purchased, and most of them were on my TBR, which is falling over. And yeah, I'm gonna haul them for you. So first one is The Perfect Marriage. I just bought it because I finished the audiobook version, and I always love getting a physical copy whenever I finish an audiobook that I give a 5-star. So yes, I have a physical copy. It's going right back on the mystery thriller shelf right here on my bookshelf. If you haven't watched the last video, it's about this married couple, and the man is cheating because he's a loser, and he's cheating on a bad bitch. Her name is Sarah, and Sarah is a defense attorney she's a criminal defense attorney, and so she has to basically defend her husband in the murder trial of his mistress, who was found dead next to him in bed. Isn't that fucking crazy? Loved it. Love Geneva Rose. I just got a copy of it. I also have You Shouldn't Have Come Here, but I bought this like a while ago, so yeah. A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. This is a play. I'm not sure what it's about. I want to start reading more Black classics, and this is one of them. I got a physical copy of my girl, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I really hope I'm saying her name correctly. Every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Is that crazy? I think it might be. Love Rebecca Yarros. Love this book. I got this book, and then my little sister kind of cursed me out because she was like, I was gonna buy it for you for Christmas. And I was like, you can buy me the special edition if you want to. I need to stop listening to spooky podcasts and drinking coffee. I just looked into my closet and I thought I saw a shadow figure in there. Anyway, so yeah, love this book. I'm going to get the second book hopefully for Christmas, but if not, I'm gonna buy it for myself. So yeah. If you know me, you know I loved the first book, and now I'm reading the second book like it's scripture. Every time I tell my friend I need to go to church, I read the first book. But since my church is with my other friend, I lent it to him. This will just have to make do. So, Sinner is the second book in the, what is it called? What is it? Is it the Priest series, or is it the Bell Brothers series? I think it's called the Priest series. It's the second book in the Priest series. Loved Priest the first time, bought the physical copy, lent it to a friend. I also bought that copy when I bought this copy, so that's why I only have this one right now. But this is about Sean Bell, who kind of resents his brother for the fact that he was a priest. But this is supposed to take place after the first book, so it's like chronological order rather than happening at the same time, if that makes sense. And Sean is a businessman. I think he's like some sort of rich CEO or something, and he starts a relationship with a girl who is about to become a nun. She's about to become a nun, and she's like, well, you know, I'm a young woman and I love God, but I also want to experience things that I've never experienced before. I know for sure that I want to choose God. And so Sean is like, okay, I'll show you. Give me a checklist. I'll show you. Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you. And then when you want to become a nun, go ahead and become a nun. But if you don't want to become a nun, I'm still here. Yes. Immediately, yes. 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 Oh my god, I'm so excited about this one. And then once I finish this one, I'm gonna get Saint, because every time I go to Barnes & Noble, I only see the first two, and I never see Midnight Mass or Saint. But I think it's because maybe Midnight Mass is in the first book, because it's a novella. I'm not sure. But I'm ready to read her. I'm excited about Sean. I loved Tyler, but yeah, she's on my TBR, and I love Sierra Simone. So I actually want to read, what's her other series called? The American Queen series. I want to read that series too. So yeah. I got number 2 in the Twisted Love series. Or is it just the Twisted series? Yeah, it's just the Twisted series. I read Twisted Love as an audiobook. The end was weird. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That was weird. That was such an ick. But it was a good book either way. And I was like, let's read the second one. And I didn't feel like buying the first one just to not really read it. So I just got the second one, and it's on my TBR. But, probably should say what it's about. It's about a princess and her bodyguard. Fallen in love, fallen in schmuv. And they are basically just like, not enemies to lovers, because I don't really feel like it's enemies to lovers, but it's like forbidden love, because she has just been put in line for becoming queen. Like, she's about to become queen. I think her dad is dying, and yeah, she's about to get the crown. And so it's like this unbelievable forbidden love thing. But the only reason why I got it was because everybody's talking about how much they love Reese Larson, and so I feel like I'm gonna love Reese Larson, and so I bought it. I feel like it's so easy for me to be duped into spending money. Especially on books. But yeah, she's on my TBR. And then, oh my god, listen, I watched the movie before I read the book, so I know what happens. But Me Before You, the movie crushed me. I was like, I should probably get this for when I'm feeling sad. And you know, I feel like some fall day, this fall, I'm gonna be like, I feel like crying. So I got it preemptively so that I could read it. And since it's September, I feel like it's gonna come up soon. So I'm going to keep this on my TBR until I feel like I need to cry, which I've already cried a couple times this week alone, but not like in the way that I need to cry to a book. You know what I mean? But yeah, Me Before You is about this guy who was in an accident, who gets paralyzed from the neck down, and he just like is not having a good time. And so his parents try to keep him from, you know, committing the ultimate act. And they hire this caregiver who is this wacky girl. She's this wacky girl. She loves fashion, but she always dresses really badly. And it's like Grumpy X Sunshine. And it's essentially supposed to give him the will to live. And it doesn't seem like something I would normally read. But, you know, sometimes I'm in the mood for a cheesy romance. And I feel like this is a cheesy romance. But I already know what's gonna happen. So I think this is just gonna be like a I need to feel something type of book. Now, see, this next one, I don't really know what it's about. I know what it's based off of, but I don't really know what it's about, and I don't know if it's gonna follow the same storyline, but it's her. It's Hooked. It's Hooked by, what's her name? Emily McIntyre. Yeah. And if you couldn't tell by the title, it is a rendition of Peter Pan. But I think it focuses on Hook and Wendy. Once upon a time, there was a little boy, his belly full of laughter, his life full of joy. Until one day, something changed, stripped his innocence away. the hole inside making space for the devil to come and play. His dreams gone forever, he grew up way too fast. An endless night of crocodiles and watches made of glass. He grew into a villain, the taste of vengeance on his tongue, craving to make his enemies pay for the misdeeds they had done. Instead, he found a darling girl and refused to let her go. For what better way to make the man pay than to steal his little shadow? Okay. Also, it has a content warning in the beginning, so check it if you feel like you need to, but I'm gonna go in blind reading this, so I'll let you know how it goes. The next one I got was the second Outlander book because I just enjoyed myself so much with the first one. Yeah, I think this is when they're in France. That's all I know about it. I don't know really what else is going to go on in here. I thought I had accidentally gotten the third book because when I opened it, it looked like that. So this is the book that I initially got because I thought it was the second one, but I think they just skipped over it because this is the second one. I don't know what's going on. But I got it. It was like $3. It was on sale at a thrift shop, so I got it. And I'm probably going to read it like when it gets cold so I can be like in the zone. Because reading this one when it was warm, when it was hot outside, it really just threw me for a loop and I didn't feel like I was at all in the story. So if I read that at winter time, closer to spring when it's supposed to take place, I feel like I would have a better time. Also, this is my fantasy shelf, which is growing. I'm excited about it. The next one I got was Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. I'm Southern, I don't know how to say her name. But yeah, I loved Carry On, and I have Carry On and Fangirl, and then I saw this and it was like on sale at the thrift shop, so I got it. But I think there's a third one that just came out. I can't remember what the third one is called, but I think I'm gonna reread I think I'm gonna have to reread the first book. I'm not gonna reread Fangirl because it really doesn't have anything to do with this, but I think I'm gonna have to reread Carry On to read this. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Let's read. The story is supposed to be over. Simon Snow did everything he was supposed to do. He beat the villain, he won the war, he even fell in love. Now comes the good part, right? Now comes the happily ever after. So why can't Simon Snow get off the couch? What he needs, according to his best friend, is a change of scenery. He just needs to see himself in a new light. That's how Simon and Penny and Baz end up in a vintage convertible tearing across the American West. Huh? Were they American? I don't think they were American. No, they're not American. Okay, why are they in America? They find trouble, of course, dragons, vampires, skunk-headed things with shotguns. And they get lost. They get so lost, they start to wonder whether they ever knew where they were headed in the first place. With Wayward Son, Rainbow Rowell has written a book for everyone who ever wondered what happened to the Chosen One after he saved the day, and a book for everyone who was even more curious about the second kiss than the first. It's another helping of sour cherry scones with an absolutely decadent amount of butter. Okay, I don't know why they're in America, but I'm curious to know. And I love the artwork. It's so beautiful. Look at the spine. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to read it because I really liked the first one. Because the first one also has pretty beautiful artwork on it. But this is like a queer retelling of, or a queerification of Harry Potter. It's supposed to be like a gotcha at Harry Potter. But yeah, I love it and I'm excited. Legends and Lattes. I've been trying to get into more fantasy, but my friend was like, oh, I love this. It sounds like it's going to be like Dungeons and Dragons, and I love Dungeons and Dragons. I don't, she does. And she wanted to read it, and it's supposed to be like this queer novel about a goblin and some other lady. And they have a coffee shop. That's all I know about it. Also, the cover art is pretty. And who doesn't love a queer book, you know? So, after a lifetime of bounties and bloodshed, Viv is hanging up her sword for the last time. The battle-weary orc. I guess this is the orc lady, Viv. The battle-weary orc aims to start fresh, opening up the first ever shop in the city of Thune. The first ever coffee shop in the city of Thune, but rivals old and new stand in the way of success. Not to mention the fact that no one has the faintest idea what coffee actually is. Okay. If Viv wants to put the blade behind her and make her plans a reality, she must be able to go at it alone. Wait, she won't be able to go at it alone. I can't read today. I can't read ever, I guess. But the true rewards of the uncharted path are the travelers you meet along the way. And whether drawn together by ancient magic, a flaky pastry, or a freshly brewed cup, they may become partners, family, and something deeper than she ever could have dreamed. What? Look, it's a little rat on the back. Can you see it? That's so cute. Okay. I don't really know what this is about still, but... and then I have 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Basterica. The author of Tender is the Flesh. That was an accident. The author of Tender is the Flesh wrote this, and it's a short story collection, a horror short story collection. Also, look at the inside. That's pretty. I like that. I started reading a few of the short stories, and I think my favorite one is Roberto. But I think I'm just gonna like start reading it towards October when it's spookier season, and I want to start reading more horror. I just want to explore more genres. I feel like I only read like classics, romance, or smut. And I'm trying to branch out to more fantasy and more horror and stuff like that. So I don't really know. I guess a short story collection that's this small is a good way to start. Oops. But yeah. Then I got her. I know. It's about, it's basically your ex-boyfriend's dad. That's the trope. Yeah. So she breaks up with this guy. What's her name? Charlie. Breaks up with this guy who's a complete a-hole. And she's like, he owes me fucking money. But his dad is like, hey, I'll give you the fucking money. And so she goes back to the dad's house and is like, hey, can I have my money? And he's like, he doesn't realize that she's the girlfriend because he's never met her. He thinks that she's a potential escort for his company, the Salacious Players Club. I really hope I'm describing this in a way that makes sense, but yeah, he owns this company called the Salacious Players Club, which is basically an escort service for people of a more kinky nature. And so he thinks that she's auditioning to be one of these escorts, and he treats her like she is auditioning for being an escort, and she kind of likes it. And so he makes her an offer where he's like, hey, I'm so sorry about that actually, but you did a pretty good job. Would you like to work for my company? And she's like, well, no, I'm not an escort. And he's like, oh, no. You would be my secretary, and I would pay you a lot of money, but I kind of want to just keep you around because you're pretty. That's implied. He didn't say that. But yeah, I read the first couple chapters of it, and I think I'm gonna finish it later this month. Oh my goodness, so far. I think I'm on like chapter 4, maybe. If you like praise, you're gonna like praise. And this is the first one in the Salacious Player Club series. So there's Praise, Eyes on Me, Give Me More, and Mercy. Delicious. I feel like she might be, Sarah Kate might be a new favorite. Because why she gotta write that, you know? Like, you know. Yes, another Talia Hibbert has come across me. I love Talia. I'm also reading The Roommate Risk right now, which technically I didn't buy it because she had it available for free for like a week like the last week of August, but I bought this one, and it's a YA. I don't really read YA, but I'll read anything Talia Hibbert puts out. It's basically like a rivals to lovers, where these two kids are going to a scholarship camp to compete for a scholarship, and then they end up falling in love. So it's friends to rivals to lovers. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. I know. Me too. Anyway, it's a horror book. I love me a good ghost story. I've experienced a few ghost stories. This is a ghost story. It's called Episode 13, and it's basically like a novelized version of a documentary, which that's literally what it says in the editor's note, which is more like an author's note. It's because it's supposed to be like nonfiction, a play at nonfiction. But yeah, it's a novelized version of a documentary, and it's basically following these ghost hunters who end up in one of the most haunted houses in Virginia, or in the world, or whatever. And shit goes wrong. And I'm excited about it. Books and Lala talked about it. I don't remember when she talked about it, but she seems to have a good head on her shoulders, and you know, she seems to really like a lot of different kinds of things, and I want to get into horror more, and she's a really great horror booktuber. So yeah, this was published in 2023. I'm not sure when though. It's probably early in the year, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I started reading a couple chapters, and it's getting spooky for sure. Like the setup is pretty spooky, but yeah, I'm excited. So I'm gonna read this. Probably gonna read this more in October for the spooks. Okay, then we have Sula. I've already talked about Sula, I think, in the last video. This is literally just like something somebody used for class, I guess. But okay, I heard the book move and I got scared. Two girls who grew up to become women, two friends who become something worse than enemies. They meet as children. Their devotion is fierce, while withstanding bullies. I don't know. I just know that Sula is like a social pariah. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe this book without giving away spoilers, but yeah, I got a novel. And then I got Rebecca. Again, I want to read more horror. I feel like I've read a few horrors, but they were like horror light. So like Mexican Gothic, or like Frankenstein is considered horror. I feel like those aren't actually like horror. I feel like they're more Gothic. But this is considered like a horror, a classic horror. So I got this. Is about a woman who I think she thinks that her husband is killing his wives or whatever. I really don't know what this is about, but there's no like synopsis on it. But yeah, she's like in this house, and she's like ridden in this house, and she thinks that the house is going to kill her or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm really excited to read all of these books, and I know I put most of them back on my TBR shelf. But that's mainly because I shelved them where they're meant to go, so they still have space to go there afterwards, because that shelf got full. But yeah, I do plan on reading all of them before the end of the year. But I still have a lot of books that I did buy and I did not read them. So, like this one, I bought her when I was for my birthday, and I still haven't read it. So yeah, these two books right here, still haven't read them. Bought them like 2-3 years ago. So I'm doing good. But thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, before I forget, please like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye.